Hello everyone and welcome to another Dash Enterprise video. In this video we're going to be talking about how to set up a database for your application and kind of explain data sources and what they entail and the different options that are available for you. So if we scroll down we can see that I have this application right here and we'll kind of walk through this. But within here, if you go over to the services section within your application, you'll see two options. You have an add a Redis database or add a Postgres database. Now, a Redis database you could think of as like temporary storage for your data within your application. So this is very fast and being able to be retrieved from the server itself, where Postgres is more of a permanent system to keep your files and your data in a located, dedicated database. So in this video, we'll kind of talk about Postgres a little bit. And with both the options, they are provided through a one-click, easy get set up option, where once you add the Postgres database, for example, it will add it and then it will restart the application. As you can see here, it's restarting everything. And then you have access to this URL, which is going to be pointing to where your database is located. So this is the connection string that will be used to set up your database. Now, with that, I'll kind of dive into an example application where we will walk through this together. We have a few imports here. Most notably, we have OS, which is going to be the operating system. And then we're bringing in PsychoPG2, SQL Alchemy Pool, SQL Alchemy Create Engine and Text, and then Tangency, Retry, Wait Exponential, and then a Stop After Attempt. So with that, if you scroll down a little bit, you can see that we're using OS environment variables, where we are setting up the database host, the user, and then the password that is our database. Then we are throwing this into a dictionary, which is going to be our params, which is going to be our user, our port, our database, our host, and our password. Then we are setting up a function to get the connection. Then we are setting up a Postgres pool, a Postgres engine, and then we are setting up another function which will allow us to try this for a little bit of time, where after 5 attempts, if it doesn't connect, then it will throw an exception saying that it wasn't able to connect to the database, else it will automatically connect. After that, we are verifying the connection and we are starting the connection, which will allow it to automatically close after it is done running what it's supposed to do within the database. So after that, we have this layout, which is a simple Dash design kit layout with a header, some rows, and then we have this callback. And within the callback itself, we have a query, which is pulling on the columns that we're looking for, where we're using SQL query text, and then we're looking for specific countries to query, and then this is going to be thrown into a pandas database, which will be thrown in return to a data table and then a bar chart. So just to kind of show this in action, I have this application up right here where we have the countries which are being brought in through the database, and we're able to select new countries, and then it updates the dashboard that we are building, where if we go back into our workspace, we can kind of start talking about some other options here. So there is more availability than just Postgres and Redis. I think it's worth mentioning the persistent file system, as if you have large files, like for example a CSV or other stores of value, and if you would like to bring those into your application in a robust, really fast way, I would highly suggest watching our video on the persistent file system, as this is a efficient way where you can cache large files and then you can quickly bring them into your Dash application. But the other thing that I'd like to expand into is going to be data sources, where there are a bunch of specific databases that you can start to work with. This is a little bit more advanced, but there are Databricks, Snowflake, AWS S3, AWS Redshift, Google BigQuery, Azure Data Lake, SQL database, or a custom option. A custom option is just going to be basically, I'll type this in with you, but you'll be using environment variables to set this up. So you'll give a name of the environment and then the value, like an API key or whatever the value is to get set up for the custom solution that you're looking for. Now, just to kind of walk you through this, I'll go over to Databricks and we'll kind of set this up together, at least the initial part. So I'll create an example Databricks option, and then as you can see here, there are 3 different things that we're going to need to set up our Databricks connection within Dash Enterprise. We have a server host name, we have an HTTP path, and then we have a personal access token. So if we make our way over to Databricks itself, and if we go to where our actual data is located in its warehouse, then we can see that this is the host name, this is the HTTP path, and then we can go over here to create a personal access token. So I'm just going to get the host name. I'm going to go back over here and we'll paste that in, and then I'll work my way over to the HTTP path, and then I will put that in. And then for the personal access token, we can click on this to create a new one, and then we can generate a new personal access token. So we could just say this is going to be for Dash Enterprise, and then we will generate it. And then this is going to be our access token. So if we go back over here and we paste that in, and then if we test everything, we'll run a test real quick, and everything was connected successfully. And then we could continue, and then we can add restrictions if we wanted to, like if we need to authenticate or not. But for now, this is perfectly fine, and we'll just say create. And as you can see here, it was connected. And that is as easy as it can get to set up some of these really complex databases. Now, each one is specific in its requirements, and it might ask for different things, but whenever you go to the individual source of where these are located, you'll kind of just work through their documentation and how to set up their database, and then you will connect it to Dash Enterprise. And it's relatively straightforward, and then they kind of focus it through like steps that you can take to get everything configured correctly. So with that, I hope that this was useful and helpful, and it kind of shows you the different options and capabilities that are available and what is the most powerful graphing dashboard creating tool imaginable. Dash and Plotly is coming strong with not only providing a strong offering, but with supporting so many other different projects and being able to work with them to create and innovate and tell impactful stories with data that is really powerful. So I appreciate y'all watching. Like I said, there are a bunch of tutorials that we have on a bunch of different subjects in relation to Dash Enterprise. Highly suggest watching those and learning more. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next one.